Thank you very much, guys. This is Life with Decent Q. Of course, today I want us to get deep into the business of the day. Let's not waste any time. Let's not even try to beat around the bush. Keeping it honest, speaking about honest conversations like always. Today, guys, I want to speak about the crisis that we have in our country. The reason why these unemployments they enjoy it when when these politicians they enjoy it when there's high unemployment crisis happening in our country. Do you think they're not benefiting? I like to believe these politicians they have more political gains, more political benefits for them to keep this unemployment happening, including the government, including the ruling parties, including all these parties involved in the coalitions. It's like it's their job to keep the people unemployed because they get to benefit something. And I want us to speak about those benefits these people get from suppressing the youth of South Africa by not providing jobs. Because let's be honest, what happens when the government doesn't create employment but decides to make you dependent on a grant? Because let's be honest, they benefit something by always giving grant to the people of South Africa. They want to keep you on their payroll. They want to give you grants. And imagine, let's ignore all the other grants, the old age grant, that one like, yeah, it's a good grant. Let's ignore the child grant. It's like, yeah, umtana vele. It's like it's not in the age where the child can be employed. So let's ignore the child grant. Let's ignore the disability grant. It's like, yeah, disability grant. Let people who are disabled get grants. But the unemployment grant, what's part the unemployment grant? It was 350. Now I hear that they increased it with 20 rand. It's going to 370. And I don't know if it's still gonna increase again. When Kotongwane speak now, Kotongwane is gonna speak now and release the finances of the country. I don't know if it's gonna increase, but I know if they decide to increase it, they won't increase it with 50 rand. They'll increase it with 10 rand or increase it with 20 rand. There's no way it's gonna go to 400 rand. But that's the unemployment grant. People who are unemployed, they're given 350. The kids, they're even given more money than people who are unemployed. They want to keep on telling you that, no, you can't afford to be protesting. Can't you see we are giving you grants? You can't afford to be complaining. Can't you see we are giving you a 370? You can't afford to act like the government doesn't care about you. Can't you see we are giving you this smaller nyana grant? Why else will they give you grants if they're not going to use it against you, to manipulate you, for you to just relax and just be dependent even more on them? Come on. Social grant, guys, is like it has become a way for most people to survive in South Africa. And the other grant is understandable, but this unemployment grant, I don't kind of get it because it's not even like that much money. It's like it's way below even the minimum wage people were supposed to be getting. Okay, let's speak about when it comes to the elections and of course controlling and manipulating the desperate voters. You know, in our country we always have desperate people. Like in South Africa it's like that. It's a shit show, it's a shit hole. It's like every system goes, it's like yafana. That's why even these politicians like our spy, they know the citizens of South Africa ngatila sometimes bayalahla. And that's a fact, that's a truth. South African people bayalahla, and these politicians they know that and they use that against these South African people, the voters. So of course they want to control the desperate voters. They want to keep on telling them, yes, no, you must vote for us because we are going to create employment for you. Knowing very well it's a lie, they're not going to create any employment. They're going to continue giving people, but just for political gains and to keep people's hopes and people voting for them. Of course they're going to use that. They know these desperate people who are going to believe when they tell them, this time around we are going to give you jobs. This time around it's going to be fine, don't worry. If you don't get a job, the grants you're going to be getting when you get in power is going to be more. Vote for us. They do that because they know they can get away with it and people will believe that. They want to control the desperate voters. So in a way they're using unemployment and they're delaying creating employment for people of South Africa, whether via industrialization, building factories, agriculture, more agriculture, giving people more jobs just that are state funded. They don't want to do that because they want to keep on promising jobs that they will never do. Because without promising jobs, what else can a government promise? To chase foreigners, that won't get you votes. That won't get you votes. We also Gaten McKinsey, Action SA, they never got nothing by promising to close down illegal foreigners passage. That won't get you that won't get you votes. But speak about creating jobs for people. There's high unemployment in South Africa. They will all believe you. So they're using this thing, just to control these desperate people here in our country. Our people now, they're very desperate, and it's a shame how our people in South Africa are very desperate. It's like they've allowed themselves to be lab rats of politicians. Politicians, if they want to do something, they use our people in South Africa. And they don't even see these people that they are being controlled, being manipulated, being indoctrinated, being influenced by these politicians out here in the country. They think they have free will because, no, as you are getting crowns, you are going to your fully line. It was my choice to go on your fully line. It was not your choice to go your fully line and to register for A370. They made you believe you're making the choice by yourself, but no, you were influenced by everything else, including the main factor, unemployment. It's the reason why you went there. It's the reason why you went there. So they manipulate you, give you fake promises, and you believe them in South Africa. So, okay. How about maybe these people we say they use this thing of unemployment just to justify more government power? And what I mean about that is that, okay, to justify more government power is like if there's high unemployment, these politicians, the ones in charge, the government, our president, and all of these ministers, they are all in government. So when there's high unemployment rate, they justify government control by acting like they're coming with smaller interventions to try to limit or to try to stop this high unemployment rate. Like we saw with the ANC, what they did, they came with this thing of amapanya before the elections. They were like, no, we are giving internships. People are gonna go out there, amapanya, they're gonna wear those green things. That's an intervention from the government. They do that because they want to make you feel that it can only be the government that can take care of you, and you have to be patient because the government will take care of you. 5 years from now, we're gonna create jobs for you. 2 years from now, the jobs are gonna come. So they want to justify the government power. They want you to believe that it's all about the government. The government is the only one that can save your life. Because no, you're unemployed. Stay unemployed for a smaller 6 months. After 6 months, there's gonna be an internship. Bantu will join and become police. People are gonna join and become this and this and this, and these interventions are gonna be coming from the government. So don't worry, everything is gonna be fine. But nah, not everything is gonna be fine. Not everything is gonna be fine because let's be honest, they come up even with policies which they claim that these policies are gonna create employment. But when you check and read the documents and the policies they invent on top of the already existing policies, these policies just take away from the jobs. Because it's like, okay, there was already policies that were designed by the government to create jobs for people of South Africa, whether industrialization, whether building factories, whether opening more public schools, hiring more teachers, public hospitals, public clinics, hiring more teachers. There's policies already existing for that. The problem is that when they come with new policies, these new policies, they have some clauses within them that contradict what the founding policies they started with. They contradict even those perfect first policies we always had. They come up with new policies. They want to tell you, no, now the government is gonna be building a free. It's gonna be joining venture with this private company to build a hospital. Now it's no more just about the government being independent. The government is going to be working with the private sector. Now you are forced to go and work for the private sector where the job is not gonna be guaranteed for the long term, because it's not that government. It's not the government. It's like this whole thing of Microsoft. There's a deal of Microsoft now. The government is busy beating its chest up that no, Microsoft have allowed Microsoft to invest billions in South Africa that is going to create more jobs. They think we are going to believe it's because of them as the government, but we know there's also benefits for them, because with the BEE clauses they get to put their friends out there and work for Microsoft and benefit with the BEE laws. But no, they want you to believe that even for Microsoft to come here and create jobs, it's because you guys know it's because of capitalism. Microsoft is here to take from the people of South Africa. You're going to be slaving away, working very hard for Microsoft while it makes billions and billions. It's not the government that is doing that. It's Microsoft and the private sector that is doing that. So, yeah, man. Yeah, even the taxes, when you see how people get taxed, whether it's the VAT, now there's conversations about they want to increase the VAT to 17%. You just see, nah, these things, it was created, it was deliberately done, to control people, to take more from people's salaries, to take more from people as consuming, as like consumer behavior. Like when people go and purchase, they want to take more from you purchasing bread, you purchasing something. So they create the crisis to justify the high taxes and claim that the high taxes is the solution to all of these problems, because no, you must pay pay high taxes, we must increase the taxes because there's people getting a child grant. So if we don't increase them, they are going to struggle to get a child grant. They end up even manipulating you, telling you things like, if we don't increase the taxes, if you guys go against increasing of taxes, these old age grants are going to be affected. They manipulate you, emotionally manipulation. They want you to think about your granny who's already getting this grant. It's like, yo, I'm Marahazin. I let them increase it because our granny is but like I'm Nandi with this money they're taking. But it's not about that. It's about corruption. It's about corruption. It's about all of these. Who benefits when the government increases the VAT? Who benefits? It's the government that benefit. No one else a benefit. Because instead of them cutting unnecessary spending, they keep on increasing taxes, and they don't even deliver, like proper service delivery. It's always poor, low-level delivery. It's like, then why else are we paying all of these high taxes if there's going to be potholes, if there's going to be all of these people, there's no waste collected, there's no anything happening in the municipalities whereby it can create jobs for people get hired by there's nothing, but the taxes have been increased. So what is it for corruption, for them to steal? Nah, guys, these politicians, they're not serious with life. But it is what it is, guys. Hopefully you engage with us even more out here in the comments. Thank you very much.